To the game, let's go. Skip this guy, MyuNgSiK. No, he's having a rough time. 2-7 in PvP. Yuck, dude. He's having, he's just having a rough time. He's still adjusting to his new team, I think. I'm sure it's a lot less stressful than a Kesper team. You get maybe a little bit too much free time. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna put it down to. And he's like, well, what do I do? Like, how do I get better?
He's definitely doing better in the PvZ matchup. He does rely on some very all-in-y builds, some weird timings coming out of this guy against Zerg. He has played, I think, a couple of macro games in that matchup as well. But regardless, here's YongHwa, like you were saying, taking out Hero and Zest, two of the best Protosses we have in Korea and the world.
Yep, and also beating Solar to boot in Solar's best matchup. So, this guy is a beast. He's not like the legendary beast that we see in Hero and Zest and whatnot, but he's up there. He has potential to be that guy. He just never really took it with both hands and raised that trophy.
Definitely a very intelligent player. Going to be interesting to see what builds these guys do go for in PvP. Let's jump into game number 2 here. It's going to be MyuNgSiK versus YongHwa. Up here in the top left, in the red, the Protoss player for Prime, it is MyuNgSiK.
Down here in the bottom right, the player for MVP, it is YongHwa. Looking fine. Got that YongHwa face.
What does that mean?
Just this really unimpressed face. All the time.
I guess that is true.
Yeah. He's just like, yeah, I'm there. He reminds me of, what is that guy's name? I shouldn't have said anything. I can't remember.
Well, Flash also being pretty famous for being unimpressed at pretty much everything.
So unimpressed that they made a meme of it.
Yeah. YongHwa, though, he was not looking impressed after getting out of the GSL. Just barely. He's never made it to the round of 16 out of his 4 times trying.
Yeah, how sad is that?
He was in the final match. It was 1-1. He went for an amazing, charge lot build off of 7 gates on 2 base for harass.
Right.
And then he tried to transition to Colossi. He took one bad engagement where he lost his Colossi, and that led to his eventual defeat. It was so sad.
That was against Dream, right?
Yeah, he was crushed in that booth, man.
No, that's
you could see it.
Yeah. He's always nearly there, but just doesn't make it all the way.
But, the one positive I guess you can get out of that is that he is going to be focusing a bit more on Pro League. So we could see some interesting builds coming out here.
Yeah,
in PvP.
If only he was in the playoffs, it'd be a great thing.
Yeah. We do see double gas coming out here for both players. And being at cross spawns on this gigantic map can definitely take away a bit of the aggression.
Yeah, things are going to take some time to heat up. No doubt about that. It's going to go to an easy 2-base at the very least. And I'm sure both players are going to be going to those sort of Colossi compositions.
Yeah. Just depends on how we get there to really show the difference in this game. We do see a bit of a faster gate out of MyuNgSiK, something that does not surprise me from this player. Could be possibly just going for fast tech. Could be a fast militia core for a scout. Could be fast gateway attack. There's a lot of stuff that can happen as a Protoss if you go for an earlier cybernetics core. A lot of different paths to open up for you.
Yeah, but, he's going to get that scout instantly, and I wondered if he has a Stargate plan. Well, he's got a Stargate in his main base plans.
Yeah.
So I guess he's going to get that initial scout off as well.
With that double gas having just about 150 to put that down right when that cybernetics core finished, and he's going to get the scout here. And just see a Twilight Council. Pretty rushed out here, actually, before that most of core is able to come out here and deny that scout. So MyuNgSiK's going to know exactly what's coming his way, or what to expect at least.
Yep, he knows exactly what's going on, so he can adjust accordingly. I still think we're going to see that Oracle there. Pretty safe bet. Blink. I wonder if it is going to be Blink or we are going to see. I think it'll have to be Blink. Judging by kind of the gas count we have, yeah. It should be a blink. Follow up from here whenever he can afford it. They're making a sentry pretty early as well.
Yeah, maybe deciding because he did get scouted. And that may put, you know, MyuNgSiK a bit back in his base saying, oh, okay, this guy could go aggressive against me, actually. Looks like he's going to start a sentry and throw down a pretty early Nexus here.
MyuNgSiK going for a Phoenix early. Okay, so he's even going to go for the Oracle. And I wonder if this is the right choice. I guess it could be, because we are seeing a sentry come out. And, I mean, if you get a number of Phoenixes on the map, sentry is such an easy target to pick off, and there isn't really much else to defend against there. We do see one Stalker as well with that Mothership Core that does have Photon Overcharge. Just another scout from the Phoenix.
Yeah, now with the Stargate units coming out, Blink does finally get started after that Nexus goes down. And I don't know, I'm really liking YongHwa's position, actually, because he's got that Nexus down. When you go Phoenix on the other side of things, it's really hard to punish that Nexus.
Yeah, you really can't do much. I mean, sure, you can sort of focus down some workers here and there, do a bit of economic damage, but that's about it. And this Nexus is going to be almost finished by the time we see YongHwa actually go up. And there it goes.
It's coming down. We do see YongHwa actually adding 2 gates here. Still no Robo, so just looking to get a lot of gateway units out here with the Blink. Possibly just help to deal with those Phoenixes coming in and out of his base. And still no transfer there to the Natural. Doesn't want any of these guys to be picked off by the Phoenixes, of course. We do see the robotics facility now coming down for YongHwa.
Both players really just posturing up now that they have their Robos en route. You see a couple of observers come out from YongHwa. Now going to go straight into Immortals. So a nice time for this. Blink just finishing for YongHwa. Going to help him out defend against these Phoenixes. Actually activating Photon Overcharge to deal with this.
Yeah, only 1 Stalker in the main. Looks like he had 3 towards that Natural. And now they're pushing out here, maybe trying to snipe some of those Phoenixes as they come in for another drive-by. Or flyby here coming into the Natural.
Yeah.
Stalker's a bit out of position, but they do have that Blink, so not going to be able to pick up anything. Just go away. That Natural still not mining for MyuNgSiK right now. Just looking to get those Immortals out like you were saying.
Yeah, just really focusing on Immortals now. Now making a forward, so he's going to have that slight upgrade advantage. I wonder when we're going to see YongHwa go for that. We are seeing more Stalkers be warped in, so he wants to apply pressure. He wants to try and force out units that might not want to be made from YongHwa. It's a pretty sufficient amount of Stalkers to do so as well. 6 Stalkers. Can maybe poke a couple of probes, maybe try for a sentry, then blink out.
Yeah, but with 2 Immortals, as long as they're in the front here, it should be just fine, especially with that Photon cannon there, or rather the Nexus cannon. Forge finally coming up here for YongHwa. Do have that Forge over at MyuNgSiK. He still hasn't used it yet, though. Just sitting there, not upgrading anything. We do see the robotics bay coming down now, so it looks like MyuNgSiK going to be the first one to transition into Colossi. He's already got 3 Immortals, whereas YongHwa really focusing on just making a lot of Stalkers so far.
Yeah, and 3 Immortals usually seems like the number they want before they try and transition out of it. This gives you a pretty solid number to deal with Stalkers early on, and they play such a pretty big part, even when it comes to Colossi versus Colossi, because you can focus down the Colossus, and oh man, we did see a bad blink in from YongHwa. He's already taken some damage. He's going to lose 3 Stalkers from this blink in. Horrible mistake there, just a little blind.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That observer saw the army in there, and it saw the 3 Immortals, and it still blinked up. Maybe it was just queued up there. Go for the blink,
yeah,
but
that was
definitely not a good blink there from YongHwa.
Definitely a nasty mistake.
And especially when you were the guy with the blink and you were the guy who does not have 3 Immortals, you're really looking to put on the pressure. You're the one who has to do some economic damage. Sniping the sentries like here, you can't really be taking that much damage at the same time. We do see finally that first Immortals being made by YongHwa, but already the Colossi are coming out for MyuNgSiK, so definitely liking MyuNgSiK's position here.
Yeah, he's looking a lot better. I think we just saw the Observer get sniped out.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
So now we finally see that Robotic Spade coming down for YongHwa. He's getting those later Immortals, but really nice lifts from the Phoenixes. You know, they do lose some utility as we go later in the game, but some lifts like this to pick off some extra units is very, very nice.
Yeah, I mean, the more you lose, the greater chance of a counterattack being pretty effective. And we're actually seeing YongHwa invest even more into Stalkers. Like, he wants to replenish. He's got quite a decent number of Stalkers. I think he nearly has 16. Maybe, I think he'd have about 15 at this point. He might actually be able to jump on this army, which would be a scary thought. And we are seeing that exact thing, Valdez. One Immortal going down so far, second one being targeted, and more Stalkers are being warped in.
Yeah, MyuNgSiK just going way too far out on the map here. He's going to lose all 3 of his Immortals. And we do have a lot of Immortals coming in here for YongHwa. He's got 2 to follow this up. And with Blink, you can put on so much pressure.
Oh, yeah, he actually killed so much. A big mistake from MyuNgSiK, just a little too confident there.
Yeah, we see MyuNgSiK actually shaking his head.
Yeah.
Definitely not pleased with that play.
Oh, it is such a big mistake. And he's had to use his Photon Overcharge. There is one Colossi with a few Stalkers. We could see it blink forward, but oh man, that is a lot of Zealots, and a second Colossus enters, and he might not be able to find much more.
Yeah, we do see finally now another Immortal being added to this composition from MyuNgSiK. Just trying to deal with these Blink Stalkers a little bit more efficiently. Those Immortals are very strong against them. But again, Blink Stalkers, especially on this map, it's got a pretty nice cliff over here. It's a huge map when you're this far apart across positions, and you can put on so much harass damage. You know how long it's going to take for MyuNgSiK to go all the way across this map with the composition he's got with those Colossi? YongHwa can just be so annoying the entire time. Just coming in and out of the bases, going to the natural, going to the main, back to the natural. And he can even get a faster third base at the same time here. So very interesting play out of YongHwa. You don't usually see PvP one Protoss stay on Stalkers for this long, but he's making it work.
Yeah, I think it all made it worth it when we did see MyuNgSiK overcommit to the middle of the map. Just I don't know. I didn't even know why he wanted to go out that far, because he wasn't going to make a move of it anytime soon. And then when he came out, he got completely crushed. Lost everything, lost his Immortal account, which was so important at this point of the game. It gave YongHwa such breathing space to go over this third base.
Yeah.
And a nice 20 supply lead as well.
MyuNgSiK does see this third base coming up here. And we'll see how he responds, actually. He is going into Templar Archives here and making some Immortals as well. May want to just look to punish this third base possibly. He is moving back out on the map. We see no Nexus so far and no Probe in position to put down a Nexus. So he's got that charge. He is going to have +2 finishing up here. But already YongHwa does have that +2 at the same time. And actually MyuNgSiK just putting down that Nexus while he moves across the map.
Yeah, probably not the best of moves. I actually do see YongHwa has charge lots as well. And +2 already. +2 from MyuNgSiK, just about to finish. I don't know what MyuNgSiK hopes to achieve. He does have recall, so if anything gets too horrible, he can get it alive. We are seeing Archons being morphed in. So MyuNgSiK is going to make something of it. But he's still committing to a Nexus at home, so maybe if this fails, he does have something to lean back on.
Yeah, it's a lot of Zealots in the mix here for MyuNgSiK, but YongHwa's got a lot as well. Very, very close there in the counts, 19-17 in favor of MyuNgSiK.
Yeah, just so many more Stalkers for YongHwa as well.
Ooh, I really like that cancel actually on the 2 gateways. The positioning is actually going to be more important than the extra units you're going to get from those 2 gateways a little bit later on. So
yeah, he really needed them.
Really nice cancel there from YongHwa. A very small thing, but it's the small things that matter sometimes.
And once again, MyuNgSiK, finding us some picks. This is a scary fight for YongHwa to take, but YongHwa does have a better army at this point. He can take it, and he might commit to it soon. He does have the Colossus advantage.
Yeah, he's got to be careful not to get out of position. I like what he's doing for now. He still has his third base, so he's just buying himself time. And the more time he's got, the better army he's going to get ahead of MyuNgSiK, just because he has the better economy. We already see him about maxed out here.
Yeah.
A much higher army supply. Oh. Very nice feedback, though, onto that Mothership Core, so it's not going to get any spells down. But at the same time, a much bigger army here for YongHwa.
Yeah, much bigger. Many more Colossi, extra 2 Colossi, and everything is just getting wiped out. Simply not enough to buffer for what we have for MyuNgSiK. We're going to see Blink forward, and the 4th Colossi has been added, but it's just a little too late at this point. Everything's getting picked apart.
Even the Blink Stalkers in the mix here are going to be able to snipe these down. These Colossi are not going to be able to get away. And YongHwa, even in that fight, he wasn't all that confident. He even pulled the probes. But once he saw how far ahead he was getting in the fight, he's like, oh, I guess I just actually won this quite easily.
Yeah, I don't think he underestimated how far ahead he actually was. And that was pretty far. He was up at least 30 supply.
Yeah.
At that last fight, so.
We do see actually a bit of a counterattack. MyuNgSiK still having those pylons over there. But YongHwa just looking to end the game. I don't think he cares at this point.
No. We'll see if he wants to warp in at home, but I mean, he can just win the game. Looking at what MyuNgSiK has, absolutely nothing. He literally has nothing at home, and he's invested everything in a counterattack on the third base.
Yeah, YongHwa even having a pylon out in the middle of the map, so if it did go to a very late base trade, YongHwa would be okay, as long as he gets some probes out. And YongHwa not showing any signs of stopping, actually. He is going straight for the kill onto MyuNgSiK's base here. And he has a much, much bigger army. As our observer did point out, there's a dark shrine on the map here for MyuNgSiK, so it looks like he's trying to actually just go for a base trade and possibly win by sniping observers and, you know, doing the damage with the Dark Templar because they can't be seen.
I guess that's certainly one way to go about it.
Win behind Dark Shrine, the famous saying. We'll see how well MyuNgSiK's able to utilize this Dark Templar tech here as it goes into a base trade.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know, Valdez. Maybe he can get something to happen with it, but still he is down 60 supply.
There are no observers on the map here for YongHwa.
That is true. That is true.
If he goes there in there and snipes that Robo, there's going to be no detection.
The only problem is he can only afford one DT. Now he's got a second one, actually. But they're both going towards the base trade scenario.
The Robo is producing an observer here, but right away there is a Phoenix and an observer here for MyuNgSiK. He is waiting for it, and he's going to snipe it down.
Oh, that is true, but he can make another one. He does have the money for it, but he has to at least keep one of these alive. And this is actually becoming pretty funny.
MyuNgSiK scratching his head. He's like, can I actually do this? Where's that set? No, there's just one DT for now.
Oh, they're trading. Oh, and he keeps alive. GG.
Okay. Nice try, nice try.
He's really relying on that. And
props to MyuNgSiK.
Nice win from YongHwa.
Yeah, man, just more solid play. Really liking the Blink Stalker. Just in and out of the base there on that huge map. Definitely something you can utilize on Deadwing cross positions. And, of course, I know you're going to mention it, Moonglade. A lot of that loss for MyuNgSiK did come into him losing a large chunk of his army out there in the middle of the map, where he just kind of moved out to the watchtower and got way out of position. I think he just didn't scout the amount of stalkers that MyuNgSiK actually, or rather that YongHwa had made.
Yeah, he was not expecting, he was certainly not expecting that to go down the way it did. Just a little too confident. And taking a horrible loss there. So, one apiece so far, Valdez. You're gearing up for a pretty big match. Next is going to be Creator versus Lacira. And this should be a lot of fun. This is the one I've been waiting for. Both very interesting players. Creator, obviously the carry, the ace player for Prime at this point. And Lacira, a great Zerg player, in form again finally after a couple years of hiatus.